You are listening to the TN Horror Podcast Network. Horror with a sense of humor. Friday, September 13th, McMinnville, Tennessee. Are you ready for Rigor Mortis? Rigor Mortis is a walk-through dark attraction filled with state-of-the-art environments, amazing special effects, and terrifying live actors. Journey through not just one haunted house, but two for the price of one. First, prepare to witness the truth behind the McMinnville nuclear fallout shelter, as well as discover what lies behind the flooded walls of the underground McMinnville mortuary. Can you make it through this terrifying haunt? We'll see.
Hi, I'm Bill Mosley, and you're in the horror basement. Lick my plate, you dog bitch.
Welcome to the Horror Basement, where we talk horror and more. Come to you from the basement of my mom's trailer. I'm one of the three hosts, Johnny, and we have JimJam here with us.
JimJam here.
Oh, Yeti's not here again. What a bitch.
And
we're serving up horror all over the land like biscuits and gravy, baby. You know how we do it.
Yes, we are.
And on today's podcast, guys, we have a great interview with Josh Hasty, writer-director of Candy Corn. If you're coming out September the 13th, select theaters. We'll be out VOD and everywhere September 17th. But if you're looking forward to the movie, we'll go into like what it was to make it and everything. It's a really good interview. I had a whole lot of fun. Go follow us on Instagram at the Horror Basement Podcast. And go hit up tnhorror.com because haunt season's coming up. And there's a fucking haunt directory on there, guys. You can find your city that you want to go to. It tells you where the haunt is. You just click on it, or it tells you what haunt's in it, and you click on the haunt, and it brings you to their website. And you can find out all the information. You don't have to worry about reviews or none of that bullshit. Unless you like reviews, because it's not really bullshit. I was just saying that.
Yeah, because then you can go to Haunt Seekers of Tennessee and check out the reviews.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said that, just to fuck with you. I know you'd be like, what the fuck, dude? It's not cool. It's not cool.
Johnny said that. Johnny don't like reviews.
Well, I mean, some people don't. But if you do go to Haunt Seekers, you can see what the haunt was like from last year. Or if they've already went to one. You know what I'm saying? Right? No?
Sure.
You don't even know. You ain't even been there. Shut up. But anyways, go to tnhorror.com, check out the merch page, and go support us and buy merch. Lots of merch. Shirts. Candles. Stickers. Mugs. Is there a mug?
Yes.
You know, I actually had someone ask me, do we have a coffee mug?
Yes, we do.
How much is that coffee mug, sir?
$75.
$75?!
Yeah, you're not only getting a coffee mug, but the perk is...
The perk is you're getting a coffee mug.
You're getting a coffee mug and you're supporting us.
That's a fucking A, dude.
I don't know.
No, you'll get that joke once we get into the interview.
It's not $75.
Yeah, you'll get the joke once we get into the interview. I guess that's a... What do you call them kind of joke? Inside joke.
That's not a pun.
It hasn't left the closet yet. It's still inside. It's still inside, guys. No, sorry. Didn't mean
that's race. I mean, that's not racist.
Yeah, you're an idiot. But anyways, tnhorror.com. We're all over the place. We just got through doing a really awesome hour interview, so...
Yeah, he's going to love this interview. This intro.
Yeah, well, this is what you get, Josh. Well, it was just a fun interview, so now I just want to, yeah, it's a fun interview.
Make some giddy.
It was a fun interview, so I'm pulling off the energy from that, and it's just, I really had a good time.
Y'all wouldn't let me ask the question.
What, if ghosts have clothes?
Yeah. Why?
They didn't want to hear that shit. Josh, respond to us on Instagram. Do ghosts wear clothes? Do they have clothes? It's an old thing that we started.
And y'all don't want to ask nobody no more.
Well, no, because it's old.
So? It could be one of the questions that we always ask.
That could be the next question of the week with Poncho.
Great.
Poncho, do ghosts wear clothes? What's your opinion on that,
I
bro?
think he would have a good sense of humor about it.
I think he would. But yeah, so away we go. All right, guys. So today we have writer and director Josh Hasty. You will know him from the up and coming movie Candy Corn. Josh, we appreciate you being here, bro.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Before we get into this interview, we're going to do the question of the week with Josh, which is, if you had to choose between the two, who do you think would win in a fight? The Gill Man or Swamp Thing?
I mean, I'm going with Gill Man just because he's Gill Man. You know, there would be no Swamp Thing without Gill Man. You got to show some respect. So, Gill Man.
Yeah. What do you say, JimJam?
Is Gilman from
The Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Well, if you go off of the Derek Mears Swamp Thing, I gotta go with that one.
I was going to go with the Gill Man only for the whole fact that I think, he's ancient, he's older, and I just think
Wiser.
Yeah, and I just think he would kill him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, has the Swamp Thing ever killed anyone?
In the new one, he has.
In the new one? See, I haven't watched none of the new ones. I'm just sitting there thinking like of the old TV show if he actually killed anyone. And I didn't get into the comics, so. Was there comics in the Swamp Thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just think the Gill Man, just because he's more of an ancient creature and he would, I think he would just kill him. I don't know. That's just what I think.
I'm with you.
Yeah, good. See, haha, you're
Older
overruled.
and wiser. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, he's ancient, right? Like, he's part of a really old race of creatures.
I changed my mind.
Nope, too late. You lose. No. But, Josh, man, you've been busy, ain't you? Doing a lot of promotional stuff for Candy Corn?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's been really crazy, but it's good. I love it. It took a long time to get this movie done, and it feels amazing. I love every opportunity I get to talk to people like you guys who support it and, want to talk about it. It's great to talk about a final product, but it's been a circus, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, we definitely see that, as we got more into the indie side of filmmaking. It seems like it takes a long time to get things started in general and then completed.
How long did it take?
Yeah.
It took almost 3 years of, what's interesting is, like, you're right, it's really hard to get this stuff done, and there's a plethora of reasons, but one of the big ones is funding. It's really hard. The movie business it's a business like any other business, and when you have these big blockbusters, they're very calculated, and they know how much money a certain actor or director is going to bring in, and they have these big marketing budgets, and even if the film fails after the first weekend, they typically make their money back opening weekend in box office, so they're good to go. You don't have those luxuries when you're doing an indie film like Candy Corn, and so any indie film it's a miracle that it gets done just because of what you're stacked against. But Candy Corn was interesting because we kept going through producers who were signing up saying they were going to raise the money and get it together, and then they wouldn't. So we ended up actually, long story short, shooting Candy Corn over the course of 2 years in 4 separate productions between California and Ohio. And we did that because we had to. That wasn't what we wanted to do. And so that's ultimately what took so long, was just, you'd have a producer on board who was like, yeah, we've got, this money coming into escrow in a month, and, start pre-production, and you get to work. And then the money wasn't there. And then maybe a little bit of money would come, and they would say, we've got this, and the rest will be here before we start shooting. Don't worry. And then you get to the point where it's time to shoot, and the rest of the money isn't there. So you have to just shoot the few days that you had, because you've already got the locations, you've got the actors and the permits and everything else. And we can't afford to just say, well, we'll move it to later, So, yeah, that's a nutshell version of of what it what it took this film at least. I can't speak for all indie films, but that was our biggest hurdle.
So that does sound like a struggle right there. I couldn't imagine going through all that actually. But where originally was you wanting to film? Was you wanting to do it in 2 locations originally? Like, was that, or was it just one location? Like, because I seen that it was filmed in Ohio. So was it just going to be filmed in Ohio, or was it just going to be planned on filming it in California?
Well, yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, from the beginning, I wrote it about a fictitious town in Ohio that was inspired by the area I grew up in, Ohio. And so that was always the plan, was to shoot it all in Ohio. But what we shot in LA was stuff that we had to shoot there because, like, it's all the Midway stuff, all the carnival stuff that you see, the backstage, all that stuff. That's all in LA because that stuff is there, So
True,
it's like, that's from the LA circus. Like, they rent out, all those props and sets have been used in American Horror Story and 31 and Carnival and Greatest Showman. Any carnival thing really that's shot in LA, that's the place to use it. So they had the stuff, and then on top of that, I was able to. It wasn't like that carnival was built. They have a big lot, and it's empty. And then I was able to go through for like 2 days and pick all the stuff I wanted, from the trailers to what tents I wanted, and all this stuff, and really build this dream place that was in my script. You just can't do that in Ohio. You can only do that in LA. On the flip side, everything was shot in Ohio, all the exteriors, some of the houses, that amazing movie theater, all that was real locations of places that I knew of from friends or whatever. And like the police in the town that we shot in, they knew what I was doing. So like they just shut down the roads and let us do these, drone shots with road closures, and you just can't get that in LA easily, and not on this budget. So that was the plan. Was like, let's do it all in Ohio because we can get that. But then my production designer brought up, well, carnival stuff we could do here, and I can get you this stuff for really cheap. And so that's really the only reason we went to LA at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense because, like you just said, the carnival stuff, I didn't realize all that would have been in LA. But then again, it makes sense on why it would be because there's so many films being made there, so why wouldn't it be? But
yeah,
you keep...
Well, and everything we shot in Ohio could have been done in LA too, but it would have cost us more money than we ever could have.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, it's a balance.
Definitely. What can I, if I can ask you, what was the budget on this film?
I can't say publicly, but it was very, very little. Contractually, I can't say out loud what it is, but it was less than whatever number you can imagine this film costs. I guarantee you, it costs significantly less. Most of what we did was on favors. I mean, we had Justin Mabry, who owns Trick or Treat Studios and designed, was one of the sculptors on the new Michael Myers mask that Blumhouse did. This dude he's amazing. He's one of the best in the business. And he basically worked with me as a producer for equity in the film, just really believed in it. And so that's across the board. I mean, our makeup effects team is Oscar award winning. They've worked on Benjamin Button and Vice and Pirates of the Caribbean, and it was all just favors. So the original budget was millions, and we did not spend even close to that. Not even close.
Yeah, because when you mentioned the special effects on it, and it was just like they were really, really good. They were done really well, and that's why I was wondering what the budget was because of how well they were done. And the same thing with the I'm not sure what you call the Atkins character. I'm not sure what his killer name is, like if he has a name after he's comes back to life. But the mask that he's wearing, it just looks really, really good.
Yeah, that's all Justin. Justin Mabry did. He's amazing. I mean, in my opinion, he's the best in the business. He wouldn't say that, but he is. He can, some of that stuff, like let me tell you a story I haven't told anybody with like Bishop Gate, all right, played by Tony Todd. He has a pipe that he uses in the movie. I won't say what he does with it, but you know what he does with it. And he has that. Well, I had rented a movie prop. Okay, so we shot all Tony's stuff in LA, and I rented this really nice big wrench that's, looks real and it's painted really nice, but it's made out of foam and whatever. It's used in movies. And it never showed up. So the next day, I was waiting till the last minute, just like, they kept saying, yeah, it's coming. And it never showed up. So we had to shoot Tony's stuff the next day, all the big stuff that he has with his pipe. And I like freaking out, I'm in my hotel room at like 1 a.m. and calling Justin. And I'm like, dude, what are we going to do? And he's just like, well, let me try something. An hour later, he sends me pictures of this pipe that he made, and literally made it out of foam, like foam that goes around like piping, like hot water pipes.
Yeah.
And an old rag, and covered it in cinnamon, like spray glued cinnamon, so it looked like rust on it, and painted it a little bit in less than an hour. And it looks, like even Tony was like, my God, this is amazing. But that's Justin. He sculpted the mask from scratch. He has done, like I said, he did, the new Myers in the 2018 film. But additionally, Trick or Treat Studios has done they mass produce all the officially licensed masks for Halloween and, all of them. Leatherface, like you name it. Justin sculpts all of those. So he knows what it takes to make, an iconic killer. He's made all of them for many, many years. And when we worked together on what did I want Jacob's mask to look like, he just knocked it out of the park. So that, all the special effects, that was very important to me to do practical effects. I didn't want to do CGI. I hate it. And Justin is also from that school. He loves practical effects. He's like, from like the Tom Savini world of just like, do it real, shoot it in camera. And so all of that, I won't give away what the kills were, but you've seen it, and like every single one of those is real stuff that Justin made, almost on his own. Toward the end, it got a little crazy because Justin also acts. He plays Deputy Conrad in the film, and so it got to the point where like he couldn't do everything, and that's when he brought on Chris Gallagher and Eric Porn, who are some of the best in the business, hands down. But it was all spearheaded by Justin. So any of the kills, the mask, the props, Jacob's pumpkin pail, Justin Mabry made it all.
Speak of that pumpkin pail, though. So when we gonna get a
when's
candy,
that going on sale?
Candy corn and that mask and all that gonna go on sale? I know Trick or Treat Studios are gonna bring them out, right?
Yeah, I actually just posted a story on Instagram today announcing it. I just got the prototypes of everything sent to me for approval, and they are freaking phenomenal. Like, they're releasing a ton of stuff. Trick or Treat's putting out, of course, the mask and the costumes, and some other really amazing products. The pumpkin pail, and they keep getting better and better. Trick or Treat Studios does, and I was looking at these prototypes, and I'm like, they look screen used. It's almost identical. So they'll be coming. I don't know what the official date is, but probably right after the film officially comes out on September 17th. Should be looking for an announcement right around then from Trick or Treat.
Hey, does that story thing, does it have audio on it, or is it just a picture?
He wants to click on your Instagram story.
The one I just posted is just a boomerang.
Okay, because I was going to click on it, but I got my phone plugged into the mixer. I don't want to...
Yeah, he's over here like, I want to see it.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah. I might have some. I think I have the trailer in my stories maybe still, so it's got audio. But yeah, it's just a little teaser. I just pulled out Dr. Death's hat. They
Okay,
they made
yeah,
this hat, and they did Jacob's costume, and they just sent me a box of the stuff. But
that hat is
it's
looking
exciting.
freaking phenomenal.
So is Poncho? Does Poncho have one of those hats, or is he going to get one?
No, all the screen use stuff is archived in my studio. The official the screen used mask. There's actually 3 versions of the mask. There's the one at the very beginning that's sort of dusty looking that Dr. Death puts on Jacob, and then there's one during the first when you first see him, when it's sort of covered in blood, and then the whole rest of the film, what we call the kill mask. That one is in my studio on a mannequin head right now. And you guys have seen it, so I won't give anything away, but every kill that's in the movie, I have all of those body parts archived as well on display.
Oh, damn.
So I've got building this little candy corn museum, and and all the wardrobes too. So hopefully they'll come back out at some point for more Dr. Death screen time, but yeah.
So if anybody was to go into this your museum of candy corn, would they think that you're just collecting dead body parts?
It would look like it. Yeah, it would look like I have a bunch of weird bloody circus clothes and dead body parts. And that's the thing is they all, Justin, like the arms, without telling what it is, but there's the one scene with the arms in them. They're made out of silicone, and they're painted underneath the silicone. So the silicone's translucent, and then underneath that there's veins and little hairs and stuff. So they look like real human arms and hands. Yeah, it's incredible, man. I got so lucky with Justin coming on board.
I don't know if if it gives anything away, tell me, and I'll just cut it out. But so what's he been doing? What kind of weights he lifting?
Oh, it's supernatural.
That's just a superpower strength.
Yeah, supernatural, man. Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of supernatural, what was your thoughts process of doing a revenge movie? You know what I'm saying? When you first come up with Candy Corn, was it it's definitely got to be a revenge movie, or was you going to try to spin it in a different way?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I mean, I don't think it was revenge at first. For me, the nucleus was, I want to make something Halloween themed. I want to make it in the place that I grew up and fell in love with, not just horror movies, but the season of Halloween. I grew up in Ohio, and Midwest fall time. There's nothing like it. I don't care what anyone says. It's the best. And there's a feeling, there's just a vibe and a tone about that. And that's really what I wanted, was let's make that. And then it just sort of, as I started creating the characters, at first, I can't even remember now if I ever had it not be revenge, but that definitely came later as I was like, all right, well, what's the purpose? That was really, really important to me. There's so many movies out there that it's just people just, crazy people killing or whatever. And it's I don't know, that just doesn't, obviously a lot of people like that sort of thing. It doesn't speak to me. And I don't want to make something just to pander to an audience. So for me, it was there's got to be a purpose. Jacob has to have a reason to do this. I think I worked backwards from there and sort of tapped into what I know, which is being weird, being an outcast, being called all those names that Jacob is called, and sort of, flipping that on its head, saying, all right, well, what if the freak, as they call him, actually, can do something about it this time? Of course, I was very inspired by, Dr. Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster, of this sort of relationship between, this sort of helpless or pathetic giant gentle beast, and the crazy monster, or the crazy doctor rather, that is kind of manipulating him. So.
You mentioned Dr. Death extra screen time, so I gotta ask: is there going to be more with Dr. Death? I mean, I gotta ask because people want to know.
Yeah, no, everybody asks. I'm glad they ask, because that means people want more. Yeah, I mean, I'm not quiet about the fact that I wrote Candy Corn as a trilogy.
Ooh.
You know, I started writing, and I mentioned this on an interview that I did on Blu-ray. I wrote the film, I wrote the script, and as I kept writing, and kind of one of the things that worked against us was our timing and budget. You know, but what was cool was because we weren't able to shoot a whole lot, and my producers were like, hey, you got to cut some of this script down. Like, we're not going to be able to shoot all of this, you know, without getting too into it. Basically, when you're making a film, you have to aim to shoot X amount of pages of the script in a day. That's general sense of, you know, how the schedule is built. They're like, we don't have enough money to shoot this many days, so cut some stuff out. So that sort of kind of triggered it. And I was like, all right, well, what do I take out? Because I love all this. Started to take something out, and then I was like, you know, but I don't know, I really like that. And then it would inspire ideas of like, well, if I took that out, he could do this instead. But then over here, that could make him do this, you know. And before you know it, I was just like, all right, well, I'm just going to write another script. And, you know, people dig Candy Corn, then we'll do another one, and I've got it ready to go. And I kept doing that. And then during those hiatuses, when we were raising money, I'm always writing. And I just started writing more and more and more. And, you know, started talking to Tony and Poncho and, you know, talking about the characters. And they're method actors. So Tony would be like, you know, Bishop Gate, you know, could do this and, you know, whatever. And so it got to the point where I'm like, well, I've now got a trilogy here. And it's this really beautiful arc and story. And so, you know, I definitely want to do them. I want to make them in some capacity. I got a lot of really fun ideas of how they could be made and where they could go once they're made. And I'm really excited about that. But next up, I want to do something. I've got a ton of scripts. I'm always writing, like I said. And there's a couple more films that are unrelated to Candy Corn that I'm just like really fired up about. And, you know, I don't want to put Candy Corn to bed, but I kind of want to just let it rest a little bit, get it out there, let the fans find it, let it live for a little bit, and not just jump straight to a sequel. I kind of think it would just be too easy, you know?
Yeah, rushing into it wouldn't be a good thing either. Like you said, let it breathe and people create a fandom around it. Yeah,
definitely. And you know, it's just, I lived with it for 3 years, and it's like I could not do a sequel today because I haven't taken enough time to like really stop, let the characters breathe out there in the world, and like you said, let the fans get a hold of it, and you know, find out which characters do they love, which characters do they hate, and you know, give them a little bit of what they want as well, in addition to just creating the film that I want to create. But yeah, just that's not why I made Candy Corn. You know, this was never something to make money or, you know, fame or whatever. And I'm glad that people are reacting the way they are to it. It's amazing. But if I were to just jump into a sequel just because people liked it, it would be going against the entire reason I created this world.
I want to go back to a little bit about the filming part. How long did you have to film this?
So we shot the film a total of 17 days.
Wow.
That's all. And we averaged, the shortest day we ever had was 12 hours. That's what most of the days were. And we averaged about 10 to 12 pages, sometimes 14 pages a day. And sometimes we just do a few pages, but you know, we actually ended up going back and reshooting the bulk of what we did the first time in Ohio when we got our funding, because the weather kind of screwed us up the first time around, but we thought we had to deal with it. So in those 17 days, 3 of them were reshoots, basically. Yeah, man, I mean, we cranked through it. It was not an easy shoot, and fortunately, there was a really good vibe on set. I mean, everybody, while it was tiring and stressful and everybody was worn out, at all times of the day and night, we all just had this feeling of like we're creating something that we are proud of. When you would see Jacob come on set in that wardrobe, he's freaking tall, man, and comes in just looking like that. It's just like, it just made you feel like a little kid, like we're making a horror film and we're doing it our own way, and it's original and it's fun. It was stretched out over 2 years. It seemed like forever, but actually wasn't, just a few weeks.
Well, when you bring up the budget and you tell me that you shot for 17 days, I know the budget was low.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
17 days is not a long time.
17 days is nothing.
Yeah.
And on top of that, out of all the locations that we have in the film, most of them were free because there were people that I knew, or I would, talk with people and just try to get them excited about this. And, the diner, the Coopers in the film, that was a free location. The guy owned that and the theater.
Oh, wow. That's what I was wanting to ask
next door
you
to
about
it. So it's like super lucky stuff like that I happened to graduate with his son, and he found out we were coming to town and was like, hey, if you need any of this stuff, let me know. And it was like a joke. He sent me pictures of the diner, and I was showing it to all my producers, and I'm just like, how absurd is this? Because it was exactly what's in the script. It was a quintessential old diner. So yeah, think about that. Like, think about, 17 days, locations, not costing anything. Most of the crew working for equity rather than cash, and shooting in Ohio where there's no permits or anything like that. It was incredible what we were able to do with the little bit of money we had.
Going off how long it took to film it, how long was post-production?
That was super fast. I edit everything. So the post-production was super streamlined. So basically, when we would take a hiatus and we'd be getting screwed over by producers and trying to find more money, I would edit everything we had already shot. So by the time we got done, finished, filming the whole thing, that was December of 2018. I think we wrapped on December 18th, 2018. I went through and cut everything. Lindsay, my fiance, she's a color correctionist and does all that for everything I've ever done. She color graded the entire film while I was in Austin, Texas, writing the score with my co-composer. So I came back, we did final touches on everything. We had, very little, people involved. We had one other guy do the final sound mix, and I had a final cut that we screened at Horror Hound in Cincinnati, March 15th.
Wow, that was...
Wow. And that's the version that Epic Pictures bought. They fortunately did not have me make a single edit. That was it, man. They took it and
I guess that's
moved super fast.
Yeah. I guess that's the plus thing about being your own editor. You have the luxury of being able to edit as you shoot, pretty much.
Yeah, I have to. I'm very specific in all the shots, even in my script. I know exactly, I had a great cinematographer who knew the technical side of everything, which was amazing. But I had every frame mapped out. I storyboarded it myself. I knew exactly where the camera would go for every shot, what the move would be. I even rented the dollies and tracks myself because I knew what I would need. So that sped post-production up for me because really didn't, I would do a lot of takes with certain actors who I had to really pull a performance out of, because some of these actors they're not actors, professionally. But I liked their look, and so I really wanted to work with them and get a performance out of them. Somebody like Tony, Poncho, Courtney, PJ, one and done. I mean, it's pathetic how good they are. Like, it was just like they just nailed it perfect every single time. So, stuff like that, yeah, I could get that, and I would have that stuff edited that night in my hotel after 12 hours of shooting, because I'm so excited. Like, I love it. I'm working with these icons that I love. It's a story that I wrote and I really love and, want to see come to life. And then I just, at the end of the day, the AC gives me the camera or the footage on the hard drive. Just go back to the hotel, cut it all together. And that was pretty much it. I mean, but it helps having a clear vision of what you want. Because if I didn't, I may have all this footage, different options, and have to spend a lot of time sort of, A-Bing what works best. But for me, it's just not how my brain works.
Seeing that these characters are so well brought to life, would you consider doing conventions, like a convention run with them, like Poncho and possibly Tony Todd and,
Yeah, the movie takes
as far as in character, you mean?
Well, yeah.
I mean, we did Horror Hound, and we've got quite a few conventions that we're doing. We're getting ready to do Monster Palooza. We're doing a special event there, and then there's a few other. There's like Riverside, Dark Side and Riverside, and a handful of them that we're going to. But they're not really in character. I mean, we're just going and like either screening the film or showing clips from the film and then doing a panel. But yeah, I mean, there's people out there who have made cosplay characters of Jacob already, and they send me pictures of it. When we were at Horror Hound, we saw a guy dressed up like Dr. Death. And so, for the actors to actually do it, I don't know if they would be into that, but it's cool to have them there, signing autographs and talking about the film and doing a Q&A, and then to see fans, in the crowd dressed up like their characters. It's surreal to, as you said, like see, that reaction from people who they've only seen the trailer at this point, so it's really, it's exciting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I was just sitting there thinking, like, they haven't even seen the movie.
Are you prepared for?
Awesome.
Are you prepared for when someone comes up to you with a tattoo?
Oh shit!
Yeah, I mean, it's happened actually already. There's been a few that have gotten candy corns tattooed, and they say it's for the film. But I'm really excited, like super excited, because I have a lot of tattoos, and I tattoo all my everything I love about Twin Peaks and X-Files and The Crow, and just a lot of like vintage Halloween tattoos, and that's exciting for me, because it's like when you do that, when I get a Twin Peaks tattoo, that's me saying like this, I'm with Twin Peaks forever. This has moved me so much that I've had it for years, and I still look down at it sometimes, and it's just like you carry it with you. So for people to have candy corn tattoo, like I can't wait for somebody to have like Jacob's gnarly looking face. Like it'll just look cool, but yeah, to have that is going to be pretty wild. Yeah.
Hopefully they go to a good tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
there's
so many fucking bad tattoos out there. It's just
it cracks me up when people get like their favorite like celebrity's face tattooed, and it's just like,
why would you do that?
It doesn't look like him,
Are you the ones where you see like the classic where he's like getting his daughter's picture tattooed on him, and it's like the fucking most horrendous thing in the world.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, it's an alien, bro. Don't look right.
Yeah, you might as well have just stapled the picture to your arm.
Yeah, it's freaking horrible.
It's rough looking.
Because people only want to pay like
I love that. I love
$100,
Yeah. No, yeah. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, man, I really want to get a candy corn tattoo, please consider the fact that you're going to have it for the rest of your life, and you're most likely going to post it all over social media. So spend an extra few $100s and go to somebody really great.
Yeah, because good tattoos aren't cheap.
No, not at all.
They're not. They're
I
not.
mean, like quality, good tattoos are not cheap. Like I've had someone come up to me and be like, well, "How much did that cost?" It costs X amount of dollars, And oh well, this tattoo, I don't pay over $100 for a tattoo, and I'm looking at their tattoo and I'm like, "Yep,
Yeah.
I can tell." I mean, I don't say that to their face, but I'm like,
You
Yeah.
don't say it to their
Yeah.
face?
well, I mean, when it's a female, you don't really want to.
Oh, you say, anyways.
You know what I mean? If it was a dude, it'd be like, "Yeah, I can tell." But
Yeah, it's like just think about, if you live to be 70 or 80 years old, how much money you're paying per month for the rest of your life to
yeah,
have the tattoo. It's not that much, and you're guaranteed to have it forever. So make the investment.
That's why I have
But
not
what
got
can you do?
That's why I have not got another tattoo yet. I really don't know what I want, and I want to save up the money to get what I want. So,
yeah, because he's got some janky tattoos.
Got to.
janky. It ain't janky.
They look a little. That one right there is a little janky.
That's the one's getting covered up. But anyways,
I told you. Yeah, I was going to ask you. You talked about funding and everything, and producers and this and that. Would you ever consider crowdfunding?
We did a little crowdfunding at the very beginning in 2017, and it was rough, man.
Stressful.
I should have, I was given advice from so many people, don't crowdfund. It's too hard. You need so much money. And, the problem was we crowdfunded, we raised enough money to shoot for 2 days. That was it. And, that's when the first producer came in and was like, hey, I'll fund the rest of it. No problem. And then that started this cycle of awful producers that we had. But crowdfunding is tough because, you have to give perks, but those perks cost money. So when you're crowdfunding, you're thinking, all right, well, we'll give a bunch of DVDs. Okay, so for, if you donate $25, you get a signed DVD. Well, when the time comes, which it now has, to get the DVDs or the Blu-rays, it's like you're talking to the label and they're like, all right, well, here's how much they cost to make. They're like, well, we already spent all our money making the movie. So where's this money coming from? And that's just the Blu-rays or the DVDs. I mean, we did it for posters. We had the vinyl score. Fright Rags did some T-shirts for it. We did the mask. It was like all this stuff that we had and ended up, it's just tough. It's just really tough. And unless you aim to make more than you actually need, and then you hit that, then you've got, the money in the bank to pay for the production of all that stuff, plus the money you actually need to do it. So I will never crowdfund anything ever again. I just think there's the market for that is so saturated now. Everybody's crowdfunding everything. And a film in particular is one of those things that you just don't know. We had every great intention of getting the film funded and knock it out real quick. It took 3 years from the time we posted the crowdfunding campaign for it to actually, or I think we announced it like in 2016 and then it hit in 2017. But it's almost 3 years because fans remind me once a week how long they've been waiting. And it's just tough. You don't know what's going to happen. So, if you're doing something smaller, I'm sure it would be fine, but it's freaking hard to crowdfund a movie.
That's why you do the a recent production movie or whatever you want to call it did $100 for a signed Blu-ray.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's how you
for a
should
mug.
do it.
$175 for a mug. It's like, wow, that's fucking high.
Yeah.
But if fans are asking for it and they want to do it, because it's a second movie, so they've already got a fan base and people wanted to do it, and that's the only reason why I brought it up to you is like if people come to you like, hey, would you crowdfund because I would like to have a screen use prop, $500.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense that you have to add an overhead on top of what you're asking because that covers the production of it. And that's what's hard as well, is to express that to fans. I mean, the Blu-rays, Candy Corn Blu-rays just went on pre-order on Epic Pictures website, and they're selling like crazy. And I get messages from people who are like, hey, I just went to the website and happened to notice that it costs less than what I did in crowdfunding. Can I get a refund on the difference? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, the money you spent you didn't buy a Blu-ray. You helped us make the movie, and we gave you a Blu-ray. Like, and I'm going to pay for the shipping out of my pocket now. You know, like, that's what's hard to express to people is, like, you know, you did not buy anything. It was a perk. Yeah. It was a free perk that we gave you, and you helped us make the movie. Like, be proud of that. But yeah, I mean, to do, like, I will never be able to do a movie the way I did Candy Corn. I just can't do that for that price. It can't happen. And the favors that I pulled, those favors are exhausted. And you know, we're all excited to make the next film, and I hope that we can be in production on it soon. But it's going to cost money. And the idea of crowdfunding, you know, it's hard. It's really freaking hard to make a movie with the talent that I'm fortunate to have that worked on Candy Corn, you know, on behind the camera and in front of the camera. Can't make a movie for under $1 million, and $1 million is nothing, you know. I mean, you go, you know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, $120 million budget, $120 million budget, and it's hard for us to make a $1 million movie. Just one of those. That was 1/20th of what Tarantino's salary was to make Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So it's like, you know, just to get that, it would be so hard to raise that in crowdfunding. And then again, now add on all the perk costs. But fortunately, with all that being said, I'm very fortunate that, you know, Candy Corn has got the interest of investors and producers, and I've had a lot of really amazing offers since just in the past few weeks since Candy Corn has gotten out there to the public. You know, fortunately, on the next one, I'm not going to even have to think about crowdfunding. The money's there. But if I ever get to a position where I need to do it again, I don't look forward to that.
I don't blame you, because you could just sell that mug on a website and just be like, here, you can have it for way cheaper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I read an interview that you did. I don't know how long ago it was, but I was reading parts of it, and you mentioned something that you learned from Rob Zombie that pretty much, I'm just going to say, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but nothing ever goes as planned is what was said in it. Sort of like, you know, everything you have to change, you be willing to change on the fly. So what if any issues came up while filming, like while you're on set? I know that you had all the producer stuff happen and everything, but like you're on set and something just messes up.
Yeah, I mean, it really does happen all the time. I think the one that comes to mind, because I was just talking about this with one of the producers the other day. So the aerial footage in Candy Corn, there was this one particular road that I knew of where I used to live. There's beautiful trees, you know, as far as the eye can see, in this river. I really wanted some aerial footage of that, of Sheriff Bramford driving his cruiser to Jacob's house. And the shot is a nighttime shot, right? So him and Deputy Fox go to Jacob's house, and it's nighttime. And we were, you know, working toward that at the end of the day. We're going to shoot it at night. And then out of nowhere, it just starts pouring rain. Oh. Now, we've already shot all the stuff of them showing up to the house a year and a half ago. So, it's storming like crazy. And it's like, well, that would have looked cool if it was storming before, but it's not. We can't do that. What are we going to do? And so, again, you don't have time to reschedule or come back another time. So my assistant director came up with a brilliant idea that, that no one else thought of, because we're all panicking. He said, well, why don't we just come at like 5 a.m. before the sun comes up and do it? And it'll look like nighttime. No one will know. Okay. So we had to come back 3 days in a row before it finally wasn't raining in the morning. And it just kept storming at night. And it was just awful weather. That's the thing. That's the downside to Ohio in the fall time, is it'll just start raining out of nowhere. But that was the one window we had. You know, everything else was 12 hours booked solid. So I ended up going at, like, it was like 5:30 in the morning before a 12-hour shoot. On the last day, I ended up meeting up with the drone pilot, and we didn't have the money to pay the crew overtime, because after 12 hours, they're all union guys, so they have to get overtime pay. We couldn't afford that. So I just went out on my own with the drone pilot, and we got the cruiser, but with a guy who owns the cruiser drove it, because we couldn't afford Courtney for the day or for the overtime. And we just, the three of us, man, just shot all the aerial footage. We got all that stuff before the sun came up, and that's what plays as nighttime. And then when the sun came up, I was like, man, this is beautiful. It looks amazing. Let's just keep rolling. And then we got all the daytime aerial that we space out throughout the film. So that's one example. Every day was something like that. But that was a big one because, you know, we had the aerial pilot hired. He was on standby. We brought that cruiser up from Nashville. There was a lot of stuff online, and it was all for that aerial shot. And fortunately, you know, thanks to the AD, we ended up making it happen.
Yeah, that's really interesting, or it'd be really stressful, I should say, for getting it on the very last day. But it's crazy how that works out. In some ways, you know, it's like it was meant to be. You know what I'm saying? Like you were meant to get that shot at least.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that are not able to get a shot like that. It's done.
Or not
fortunate. That's what we're
not fortunate to have an AD.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. And what's funny is I didn't have an AD except for that part of the shoot. So it's like, you know, all the things that had to fall into place.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't have had him there, like I didn't on the whole first half of the shoot, I would have just been so stressed out. It would have been like, you know, all right, well, we just can't do it. And that's just that. And then we would have missed all that amazing aerial footage that had so much production value. But yeah, man, I mean, there's things like that all across the board. You've got, you know, locations that fall out. I mean, another amazing one. We had, so the theater that's in the movie, right, where Bramford goes, you know, where Steve works, and they find what they find in the theater. Okay, so that theater, this beautiful theater in Wilmington, Ohio, and I've shot a couple short projects there, and I knew the owner, and it was I wrote that theater in the script. So I talked with the owner and was like, hey, I'm doing a feature now, and I want to come down and shoot that. Now, we had our crew and cast fly from L.A., right? Most of our crew, and almost all of our cast is from L.A. So they came into Ohio, middle of nowhere town, Wilmington, and they're wondering, like, what the hell am I doing here? You know, bringing them here. But I couldn't wait to show them this theater. So we get to Wilmington, and the schedule is 7 a.m. tomorrow, start shooting the theater interiors. Everybody's pumped. The owner's pumped. You know, we've got a pretty big crew at this point, like 30, 40 people, you know, grip trucks and the whole, you know, the whole thing. So we get there. I kid you not, I pull into my hotel, the one hotel that's in this town. I pull into my hotel, and I get a call from a local number I didn't know, and I answer, and it's the mayor of this town. I don't remember his name, but he calls and he says, hey, you know, just found out you're coming into town and filming at the Murphy Theater. I said, yeah. I was looking up the movie that you're doing. I see you got some pretty big actors. I said, yeah, it's, you know, it's pretty big, you know, horror actors. And he's like, well, I was just wondering if you thought you were going to do this without clearing it with us. So, well, yeah, I did, because I'm shooting in Loveland, and I'm shooting in Morrow, and I'm shooting in Blanchester, and I didn't have to clear it with any of them, and I talked to the owners and the police, and we're all good to go. He said, you know, why would I clear it with the mayor of any of these towns? And he's like, well, I was thinking, it's probably going to cost you a little bit of money to do that. And it was like something out of a movie, like talking to a crooked cop or something. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, I just don't see, why we should let big Hollywood movie come in here without supporting the town.
Well,
I said, well, I can see that, but this isn't a big Hollywood movie. I'm trying to explain to him. So anyways, he goes, I go, well, what do you think this should cost to film in your town, like in this theater that's privately owned? Like, what do you think? He says, oh, I don't know. Why don't we just call it an even $5,000? And I just cussed him out and hung up on him. And I called the theater owner, and she called him, and it was this whole thing. So this is at 8:00 at night, and we have to shoot all those scenes at 7 in the morning. So I ended up calling everybody I knew in town. It was like, does anyone know of a theater? I stayed up all night that night. While I'm on the phone there, the guy, the sheriff's car I just told you about came from Nashville. Dude that's supposed to bring it up calls me. He says, hey, man, they never brought the car. I was going to call you earlier, but I figured I'd get them to the end of the night. Do you still need it? Or I said, yeah, man, we're shooting it tomorrow in Ohio. Where are you? Well, I'm in Nashville. So what do you want me to do? So I want you to figure it out, man. I don't know. Like, that's not my job. We paid for the car. So I got these two conversations going on. So it's actually, we have a photo book, a behind the scenes photo book coming out. I had a photographer through all of this. One of my good friends just following me around and taking pictures. And I'm on the phone nonstop. And finally I get a call out of the blue from the guy I mentioned earlier who owns the theater, owns the diner, all that. Calls me up and he says, hey man, I'm Greg. I graduated with my son, Josh. Heard through the grapevine you're in town making this movie. I own a couple places. I'm going to text you some pictures, see if you want to use them. And then now we've got a diner. We've got Steve's house in the movie. We've got the interior of the theater. Now, his theater is what you see on the outside, okay? And then the lobby. When we came back a year later, we were able to sneak in and shoot the inside of the theater that is in the movie without talking to the mayor. Because the owner of the theater was like, screw that.
Yeah.
I own it. We're not shutting down streets or anything. Like, that's insane. That's extortion. You guys just come here. I have a private parking lot. Park there, and we'll do this. And we knocked it out, in a few hours. It was amazing. But that's the type of stuff.
It just makes me so curious. Like, if you'd just been like, yeah, well, we're going to film, and there's nothing you can do because there's no law against it. So try to stop me.
Yeah. Well, I just told my producers, I'm just like, I can't wait until this movie's done and I can talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
Because he probably just thought like, just some, young idiot coming from Hollywood thinking he's going to boss everybody around. He can put up or shut up. But it's like, I'm from here. I've shot in this place a million times, but he saw Courtney Gaines and Tony Todd and PJ Souls and probably looked them up and was like, well, wait a second.
I guess
Courtney Gaines guy was in Back to the Future. He's got some money. Let's get some of it.
I guess they just don't understand that and I could, independent films.
No, not at all. And I could understand if we were like, taking over the town and needed permits and stuff. But anyways, that's the stuff you deal with, man, is little things like that where you've got to be up and, on set in 12 hours and the set you're supposed to be on pulls out at the last minute. That wasn't the only time that happened. So
the crazy thing is you bring 40 people to town, and so you're renting hotel rooms, helping the town. Yep. You're going out to the diners to eat, restaurants there. You're buying gas. You're buying stuff.
That's exactly right.
You're giving back to the community.
That's exactly right.
What a fucking asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. And all those people, mind you, we don't have the money to buy everybody dinner. All those people are paying out of their pocket. Yep. And you're right. They're at the hotels. They're at the restaurants. They're going to the gas station to get cigarettes and whatever other thing they're doing in your town. Probably spent a hell of a lot more than $5,000, but who knows? I mean, he might have wanted me to meet up with him and give him cash, and it would have been
That's
spending money.
That's
you know?
exactly what would have happened. He
Hey.
would have been like, "Yeah, that's going to have to be
Yeah.
cash, and you don't tell anyone else."
Yeah.
Hey, so when is
Exactly.
the next election for that town? Because I need to boycott that now.
Oh, it'd be hilarious. Like you do
Yeah.
a write up in their local paper. Like we shot at this theater. Your mayor wanted to charge me $5,000 to shoot here.
Yeah, I tell everybody. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't care. Like he did. It's
The
true,
truth is true.
and that's the thing is the people of the town, like the owner of that theater, she's amazing, and she was so happy to help out. And all the local businesses, you know, were excited for us to be there. So you know, there's good people, and the other thing is like I can't imagine the outside of the theater we used. You know, like working with Greg, that guy, because the one theater fell out. We ended up getting our perfect diner, our perfect theater lobby and exterior, perfect house. The exterior of Cooper's is a whole nother location that he got us that I really loved. I just happened to drive by, and he knew the guy that owned it. So like one dickhead ends up opening up a door to a dude that got us a ton of locations for free just because he's a good guy. So it's like, I'll take it.
That's amazing. And plus, he can always say, "This was in a movie."
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what he was like. He's like, "What am I going to charge you for?"
Like you could put a plaque up and be like, you know, as seen in Candy Corn, 2018 or 2019 film. I mean, like,
yeah.
And why
people
wouldn't
go
you?
visit movie locations all the time?
Yeah, I'd be posting that up. I'd be Instagram, as seen in Candy Corn, right here. Come visit. I mean, shit.
Well, it's funny because he just told me his manager reached out the other day and said they keep getting requests for people who want to see the movie in the theater that we shot in, you know, because they're from the town. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, man, but what are you going to do? There's
stupid people.
Plenty of idiots out there. So I'm just glad there's people like Greg.
Well, you should definitely do a screening there then.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just don't invite the mayor.
Yeah. That's the amazing thing is, you know, Epic got us a phenomenal theatrical release, which is hard for any film, but especially a film this size. And so many theaters have embraced it, and I get to go to a handful of them and do Q&As afterwards all over the country, and it's awesome. I mean, they've been amazing in that respect, and I think that's something I'm really looking forward to, seeing this thing on the big screen with audiences in different towns, and yeah, it's exciting.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, man. Or how long do we have with him?
An hour, so.
It's almost an hour, and before we go, we asked pretty much everyone this question. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but have you ever seen a ghost or had a ghost encounter? Anything paranormal? If you never have, it's fine. It's just people love hearing ghost stories, and it's always interesting to hear somebody else's.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I mean, I used to run a haunted attraction years ago, and we had a haunted house, like an actual old farmhouse on the property that we did ghost tours through. And I actually turned the loft of the barn into an apartment and lived there for a little over a year. And there was a vibe about the house that was always sort of unsettling, but I can't say I ever actually saw or felt anything like that. So I don't know how I would react if I saw a ghost.
I'd probably freak out.
I'd freak out if like my TV turns on. Like the other night, my TV turned on in the middle of the night by itself, and I'm just like, well, it's been a good ride. This is it.
Well, if your TV turns on in the middle of the night, what always works is just cover your head, right? Like if you don't look out, if you can't see it, it can't see you.
Exactly.
That is what my feelings are. Like if I can't see it, it can't see me. I'm waiting till the morning, till daylight.
Exactly.
Fuck peeking out.
Yeah.
If you peek out,
that is really funny. It's like if you think something's like a haunted house or whatever, it's never as scary during the day. Just isn't. It's funny how that works psychologically.
Yeah. I just don't get that. Like all these ghost hunter freaking shows. All these ghost hunter shows, and it's
I don't
always
know.
at nighttime.
It's interesting. Some of them are crazy. It's like clearly dust, and they're like, "Oh, that's it." You know, like I want to see a figure. I want to see an actual person that is translucent come out and do something crazy. You know,
or where they're pointing down a dark ass hallway that you can't see nothing, and it's like, what was that noise?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably your buddy in a black suit throwing something or knocking on the wall down there that we can't see.
Or they tell you what you think or they want you to hear.
Yeah.
So,
because then it's like, oh, I did hear that. Oh, I did see that. It's like, come on, dude.
If they never put the words up on the screen, you
wouldn't see shit. It's like, dude, this is fucking black. Come on.
I'm talking about if they say they heard a voice, they'll put the words up on the screen like what it said, and before you probably couldn't make it out, and then after you read what they think it said, then you're like, oh yeah, it did say that.
It does sound like that. Oh man, that's crazy.
So yeah,
I'm not saying I don't believe in ghosts.
People are crazy,
but I don't believe in ghosts.
Just haven't seen one yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen one. I haven't seen an alien either. Some bitches want to duck me either. I don't know what's up with this. No aliens and no ghosts.
Because you're an asshole, Johnny.
I'd love to see an alien.
I would too.
That would be great.
But think about this: you're driving down the road and a spaceship just flies in front of you and stops. Like,
do you get out of your car what's that?
Reverse.
Reverse. Yeah,
The Fifth Element. I don't know. Like
Fire in the Sky. Do you remember that movie, Josh?
Barely remember Fire in the Sky.
I don't. I remember Fifth Element, but I don't remember Fire in the Sky.
Oh, well, it's about a guy that got abducted by an alien. But he got out the car and he got took.
Man, I'd be freaking out.
No.
So, yeah, I'd be the one in the car like, bye. Trying to get as far away as possible.
Oh, shoot. Well, Josh, man, we appreciate you coming on. When can everyone
thank you.
Expect Candy Corn's coming out? Is it September the 13th?
It comes out in select theaters September 13th, which is Friday the 13th. So great thing to go do if it's playing near you. And then it comes out on Blu-ray and VOD everywhere in the U.S. September 17th.
So the Tuesday after. So everyone be on the lookout for it.
The following Tuesday.
September 17th.
And it's great. Epic did an amazing job with the Blu-ray. We really made a collector's item. It's not just the Blu-ray, so that was one thing I expressed to Epic that they really embraced was it's going to be streaming everywhere. Make the Blu-ray something special for the fans. And, we put this 2-hour making of documentary with interviews with Tony and PJ and Courtney and everybody. Very insightful, exciting documentary. They did a 30-minute interview with me that really get into, the nitty-gritty. And then we have a director's commentary and a few other little bonus features. And the packaging is just amazing as well. So it's, I'm really excited. I think it's something for any horror fan, especially a fan of candy corn to have.
I was going to say, if the freaking Blu-ray case looked like a piece of candy corn, that'd be fucking...
There's a
be insane.
If you go to epic-pictures.com, it's on there on pre-order, and it's like $10 cheaper than the normal price when it goes on sale on the 17th. But the packaging is amazing, it's beautiful artwork, and then they have like a deluxe, sort of a deluxe edition, just by default, that has another really cool little piece of artwork inside. So I love collecting stuff. I love that was always the thing for me, still is, when I have a movie I love. Like, even if I have it on Amazon or whatever, I still want to hold it. I want the bonus features. I want the physical copy. And so fortunately, Epic listened to that and agreed with it and did that with candy corn. So great.
What if you open the box and it smelled like candy corn?
That'd
be awful.
That would. I was going to ask you, like, did y'all eat a bunch of candy corn during the filming of this, or
no?
Or do you even like candy corn? You don't. You hate it.
I'm not a fan.
That's hilarious. I'm not either. I think it's one of the worst Halloween candies ever, but it's iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool.
Loves it, and that's all that matters.
Look at the disc.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
It's like the pail. That is cool, man.
Well,
that's fucking awesome. And it's only $14.99.
Yeah.
Dude, people need to
tell everybody.
Yeah, $14.99 for Blu-ray. That's
nice.
That's cheap for Blu-ray.
Action-packed Blu-ray, all kinds of bonus features.
So before we go, real quick, what is the first con you'll be doing after the release of this movie?
The first
convention?
The first con. So that will be Monsterpalooza is the 13th. Will be there when it's in theaters opening night.
Sweet.
And then after that, I'd have to look and see. I post everything on my Instagram.
Okay.
Josh_Hasty, and it's all there as soon as it's available. But I believe after that, it's going to be a new event that's just starting this year, and it's called Dark Side in Riverside, California. And it's going to be me, Poncho, PJ, Tony, a bunch of us are going to be there screening the film and doing a Q&A and a panel.
That's awesome.
So, and there'll be more. We're getting asked to do a lot of them, and it's just a matter of figuring out the scheduling. So, if you just stay tuned on my page, I'll post everything there as soon as it's available.
Yeah, we got to meet Poncho 2 years ago at Full Moon Tattoo and Horror Festival in Nashville.
Nice.
And hopefully we can get him on the podcast to talk to him soon.
Do it. He's great.
Everybody, when you get your Blu-rays, be sure to take them to these conventions to get them signed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
A lot of valuable signatures to be had on that one for sure.
Definitely.
Good advice.
Oh, yeah. Josh, we appreciate you taking the time to come on.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, likewise, man. Really good interview. Thank you.
And
thank you.
Just hopefully we can stay in contact. Any other projects that you're doing with horror or whatever, hit us up.
Awesome, man. Will do. Thank you, guys. We'll be talking soon.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.
You have a great one.
All right. You too, guys. Take care.
All right, guys. So that was Josh Hasty. All right, guys. So Josh Hasty, what a great interview. That was a great interview.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If you get the opportunity to check out Candy Corn, definitely do. I would just say the special effects are amazing.
Fuck yeah, they are.
Poncho was fucking awesome. Poncho was awesome. Great performances all around. Like Josh was saying, Justin did a great job with special effects, and it's just go check it out.
And soon you will get to have the masks and some of the stuff from it.
I think a lot of people will have the pail.
Yeah. Trick or Treat Studios.
It looks cool, and
before too long, Trick or Treat Studios will have out these products
after the movie comes out. So be on the lookout. Go follow Josh at _Hasty on Instagram, and like I said, he posts everything there. And follow us at TN Horror News. TN Horror News. And I was meant to say at the Horror Basement Podcast on Instagram is what I meant to say. But follow us at TN Horror News too. You can follow JimJam at whatever.
It's JimJam TN Horror.
Well, it's really fucking long. You can follow me at Johnny.Leroy on Instagram.
You got a dot in yours.
Because somebody else has it, bro. I don't have a dot on Twitter.
What's Yeti? Since y'all didn't notice, Yeti wasn't here.
Fuck what Yeti's is. No, it's the.yeti.616. You go follow him, and $20 is $20. So slide in his DMs. Just gonna say that $20 is $20, bro. I mean, hey, $20.
He'll get on them knees for 20.
I didn't say that. I was just saying slide in his DMs. He might do stuff for $20.
I didn't say what he'd get on his knees for.
He will clean your floor. He will mop.
Yeti, that's what happens when you don't come on a podcast.
Mop your basketballs. Polish your balls. I don't know. Anyways, go follow us there. And
so $20, Yeti. You should have been here to defend yourself.
And that's all we got is what.
But that's all we got, y'all. We out.
See.